From Victor Bowl in Victorville, California, here for the title matches of today's JBT tournament. Couple good storylines here. On the right, this is Haley Shepard looking to win her second career title. She dominated the day pretty much, taking on Justice McCoy, one of the rising stars out of the Mojave Conference. So it's SoCal versus Mojave in a dual conference event. We kind of like that. Chops that in the third frame. Justice has an open as well, and it's virtually even match because the handicap difference is only 1. Haley's got to beat Justice by 1 pin to tie and 2 to win. Since I just knocked the camera over there, let's take a look at Sorel Cardenas. He is also the pretty much runaway top seed today. Interesting title match here against Solomon Salama, as both these guys have double-digit titles, but both these guys have not won in quite some time. Sorel, a 12-time champ, has a rather ugly string of second-place finishes that he's trying to get rid of here, while Solomon's got 16 titles. Hasn't had a lot of luck in title matches either, but he's also been busy traveling the world. So that's a pretty good excuse there. We'll tell you more about that here. Solomon struck in the first, and we'll need to spare up that 6 pin to make it an even match in the second. We bowled on mostly Badger today. 52 feet, longest pattern we'll bowl on all year long. That pin's got to be reset. That pin touched the machine, so we have to reset it.
6 pin, right?
Yep. Oh, look out, Solomon. Woo, just barely touches that 6. In the middle of the lane, your bowling ball, I don't care who you are, will not hook. That's all there is to it. And skid, skid, skid. Solomon whiffed a 6 pin in previous match. Obviously, he got away with it as he beat Josh Abagania in the semis and Alex Zieg in round 2. Solomon freshly returned to the States after bowling for Junior Team USA in Paris the last week. That time stuffs it in the 1-2 to keep it an even match. Sorel, meanwhile, was competing in the USBC Masters, and everybody in the entire 400 division, 400 bowler field was looking up at Solomon as he led qualifying, which, for my money, is still one of the most impressive things I've ever seen a youth bowler do. Didn't go his way in match play. It's a shame that tournament happened to be match play, because he was ticketed to the ladder if it was that format. You see how tight they are. Sorel is throwing it slowly over the 5th arrow, and the ball just fades the whole way. You just want it to, what we call face up, right in the pocket, and it does. Light hits usually are not a good idea on Badger. What looks like too high of a hit carries well on Badger because that ball's entering at a totally different shape than it does on, say, a house pattern. Pretty double there from Cardenas. Tell you what, Sorel could have thrown 3 balls down the lane at his usual strike ball speed. There's so many adjustments that you can make, and speed is one of them as well. That thrown to a crawl with surface in order to get that ball to turn over. 3 in a row gives him the lead. So what happened over there, if you're newer to the game, even though that pin may well have fallen for Justice, if it touches the machinery, you have to respot it. Saw that happen to another JBT grad, Jacob Buttriff, a couple of weeks ago when he left that 5-6 and they were both off spot. They did the right thing, if anybody's still confused about that. The machine swept 1 pin. That pin that was swept had to be put back on spot. Justice, after the rain delay there, does cover the 6-10. Nicely done. Real good turnout today, as dual conference events often are.
Alex, ready?
Wow. You see why those right side spares are so tough. If he goes a little left of that, the ball misses the pin left. He tried to go a little right of it and he hit the righty burn, and it almost went in the right gutter. No, just got to throw straight and dead on that. $440 some out of the best bowlers in the world of any age, and Solomon leads them on 15 grind-out games. It was so much fun to watch. And that was fun for Solomon to watch as he stays Dutch by tripping out that 610. That's what we're talking about, where those higher hits are higher percentage hits than they usually are. Shepard makes the 310, very nice. This girl, Sam Connie, was the girls' scratch champion today, defeating Avery in that title match. Let's see if Sorrell can jump out to a 20-pin lead with 4 in a row here. 29-pin lead. Yeah, a little left to target. Lucky to break it up into only a 3-pin. Haley, the top seed today at plus 227 for her 8 games. Another nice shot, just a half 10. Haley has had a different bowling personality the last month or so, and the results have shown it. She does not get down on herself when things aren't going her way, and obviously when things are going her way, she just got better and better, just stomped on the gas pedal today. 240 scratch in game 8. She was already leading. She blew away the field with that last game. She's got good form. She'll go hard and straight with the ball that doesn't hook at all for your spares. No ball's going to hook at all on your spares anyway today. And nicely done at the 10. She trails in the match by 2 pins, and again giving 1 more over to McCoy. A lot of time here in the 6th frame. Both these guys just gotta get off. Oh no, get that out of there. Trying to get off that snake bit 2nd place. And a big split for Cardenas to deal with, and 10 in the pit for McCoy. Those who follow the Mojave Conference know just as well. I'd say there's about 80-20 SoCal Mojave bowlers here this time. Had a big splash in the doubles and has been a factor in most of the tournaments she has bowled ever since. Sorrell's got a shot at this. Oh, just missed it. That's one of those semi-go for it's. And all of a sudden, how quickly bowling can change. Solomon throws 1 strike here and the lead is his. Oh man, fine line they're throwing here. When there's a lot of games bowled in this pattern, when it does start to break down on Badger, then you get the heads hooking and the back end still going nowhere, and that becomes just brutally tough at that point. Minus 71 cut today. Sorrell led, qualifying at plus 149. Brilliant 230 average through the first 5 games. Salama just wants to stay clean, and he does. I don't know in our 23 years if we've ever had a Dutch 200 win a title. I sure can't remember one, but there's a lot I don't remember these days, so I wouldn't trust my memory, but I sure can't think of it. I don't know if we've had a Dutch 200 lose a title. I don't know if we've had a Dutch 200 in the title game. I don't know much. But I know I shouldn't sing on camera. I should get him on camera too, shouldn't I, instead of singing. Holds the follow through there. That usually means he likes it, but then you saw that ball check early, and now you get this body language, and you know exactly how he feels about what's going on. I think he thought that was good, and it didn't do what he expected him to. So not only is he not Dutch, but he's going to drop 10 more pins here. That's the unlikeliest of conversions happens. Shepard, meanwhile, open in her 6th. Going to go first here. It's a 7-frame shot working on the open. She trails by 18. I tell you what, Solomon nearly shaved that 4, and it could have toppled right over into the 6. Instead, it does not. It's another 2 pins account. And Solomon had a chance to take the lead. Instead, Sorrell's lead has ballooned to 20 with just 3.5 frames to go. This is Cardenas in the 7th, up by those 20 pins. Steps out of it. No! What is that?
Serious?
This is one of those where we desperately need the instant replay because I don't know, as Sorrell's, as we well know, one of the funniest kids on tour, his facial reaction tells the story. Where did the 2 and 4 pins go, given where the ball went, to leave that 7? I have no idea how he left that. It's got to roll. Woo! Shows you just how much back end there isn't. As he switched to an aggressive ball, and that just almost floated right by the 7. 3 count for Justice on a spare, meanwhile. Oh, and she gets the spare. My goodness. Blew a lot of count on that, but got real lucky to make that spare. She leads by 11 with 3 frames to go over there. Getting dicey. It's hard to bowl in this pattern anyway. When you're bowling under title match pressure, anything could happen in the last 3 frames in both divisions. Oh man. Comes back and pures it again. And if he had gone solid 7, solid 9, I think one of the nicest guys on the tour might have had an implosion. Up by 20. Solomon never out of it until the scoreboard is final. But I think he is perturbed by that last shot not strike. Again, it checks early. Wow, all of a sudden, the ball is hooking at his toes, as they say. Another tricky spare for Justice, and makes it again. So a 310 conversion for each young lady there. A little rough, but spare. It's almost like one open because she dropped 9 pins a count on those 2 spares though, so critical shot coming up for Shepherd with the strike working in the 8th. Every spare critical for Solomon. Whoa! I think the 6 pin might be the toughest spare on the lane for Sol's shoot right now. That's a bunch of, yeah, that is a gather ye thoughts re-rack right there. Here's Shepherd's very important 8. Don't get that eye hit. Tell you what, there's oil in the pin deck by now as well. That's how some of these weird carries are happening. The lack of carries. It's a natural thing to happen, of course, on 52 feet. Well, Solomon took the re-rack to compose himself. Oh, yeah, good. And finally, I thought we were going to get a 180 at the same time. That would have been the ultimate re-rack if you're trying to gather your thoughts. That ball's got to get over there for Shepherd, and it does. 9-pin game, 9th frame. Solomon in the foundation 9th. Really needs this X. But when he really needs it, he gets it figured out. It's like you increase the ball speed just a little bit to get that ball to not check in that mid-range from the arrows to about 30 feet. What will he do on lane 4 if he still has a chance? Sorrell would love to have him not find out by shutting him out right here. 206 max for Salama. That's exactly what Sorrell is pacing, meaning spare strike the rest of the way. Ah, yes, posted, gets a light hit. Those are the hits you worry about, but he got that ball to turn over face up and shredded that rack. Ginormous double. Look out, Haley avoids the chop. Now a Markle win. It kind of takes a lot of the tie possibilities out of play here. Anything less than a mark, Solomon would likely need a double to steal it away. Sorrell was thinking about the possibilities of capturing Bowler of the Year without a title. Looking to erase that anomaly with one shot. 10th frame, right here. On his knees. 10 down! And he barks at lane 3. Listen, that yes has been stuck in his throat for about 4 months since he last pulled off a win in anything.
That's the truth.
And it wasn't just second place in JBT, he had seconds in local tournaments, youth and adult, all over the place. And he is finally off the hook, taking down one of the biggest names. Sorrell's one of the biggest names too, so shouldn't even put it that way. Great performance on a tricky pattern. Lucky 13 for him. Oh, speaking of lucky, a really fortunate Brooklyn for Justice. Let's recap this match here. The difference is 8, so she hasn't won with that strike. She would win with the next strike. Anything less than a strike, and Haley can step up and take it away. 225 for Sorrell, that's a fantastic game. Solomon will try and take out his anger on poor Joshua again, maybe 17. I don't think he would have doubled on lane 4 no matter what. It just does not look good to him right now. This is for the title for McCoy. Not to be. Shepard is going to need 28 pins. We'll double check that math. It's been suspect lately. Totally respectable 215 with pins for Justice. So Haley needs 217. She needs 29 pins in the 10th to win. On a brutally tough pattern, she has performed exceptionally well. Just to come up with the best 2 shots of her career right here. If not, Justice McCoy is a JBT champ.
7 and 8.
1 and 2. Got a chance. Oh, come on, 4-pin. Man. Tell you what, that was a really good aggressive shot by her. Just the 4 didn't go. And Ms. McCoy makes it a Mojave sweep here in the dual conference event is what she just did right there. Really nicely bowled match. Don't tell Haley that right now, but really nicely bowled match. Josh and Solomon can start practicing 2 balls in each lane. Great action here at Victor. Let's do it all over again tomorrow, shall we? See what happens there.